All right, hello and welcome, RF technicians. So, if you're watching this, it means you have made it through all 15 parts of the RFI Investigation tutorial. And let me just say, that is a huge achievement. So, seriously, congratulations. Think of this as your capstone, your final review. We're going to lock in everything you've learned and really make sure that expertise is rock solid. Now, this whole review, just like the tutorial itself, is based on that comprehensive report from Virtualization Options LLC. What we're about to do is connect all the dots, pull together all those core principles you've worked so hard on, and see how they fit into one single powerful framework. So, let's get started. We're going to move through the 5 main pillars of your training. We'll start with a quick recap of the why, the critical challenge you solve. Then we'll get into the environment you work in, the tools you use, that all-important methodical process for the hunts, and finally, how you actually fix the problem, and what's coming next. So first up, let's just ground ourselves again in why your role is so incredibly important. I mean, this isn't just about chasing down some static. It's about safeguarding absolutely critical operations. You know, this slide really says it all, doesn't it? This is the heart of it. Your work prevents communication failures that could put people's safety on the line. You stop the kind of downtime that costs companies a fortune every single minute. And at the end of the day, you are maintaining the very integrity of our most critical communication infrastructure. What you do really, really matters. Okay, so with that in mind, let's talk about the adversary. Because to beat RFI, you have to know it inside and out. And that always starts with understanding the environment. We started with the 2 big categories, right? You've got in-band interference. That's the intruder that's hiding on the exact same channel as you, which makes it a real pain to filter out. And then you have out-of-band. Think of it like a super loud neighbor. They're not on your channel, but they're shouting so loud that your receiver gets totally overwhelmed and basically goes deaf. Just figuring out which of these 2 you're facing is a huge first step. Then you have the ghosts in the machine, transient interference. You know, that quick pop from an arc welder or the zap from a big motor kicking on. These are those really short, unpredictable bursts that can drive you crazy trying to find. That's why having the right tools to capture those split-second events is so absolutely vital. And on the flip side, you've got continuous interference. This is more like a constant hum, maybe from a cheap power supply or some piece of equipment that's just always on. Now, you might think, oh, it's always there, it should be easy to find. But the real challenge is figuring out which constant hum it is amongst all the other signals in a busy industrial space. And finally, we have the trickiest one of all, intermittent interference. This is the one that comes and goes, but on a schedule. Maybe it's the HVAC system that cycles on every 20 minutes, or a specific machine that runs its cycle every 90 seconds. And as you learned, the key to finding this isn't just RF knowledge. It's about understanding the rhythm of the entire facility. So, we've defined the different kinds of adversaries. Now, let's talk about the weapons you bring to the fight. Let's review the tools of your trade, the instruments you've learned to master to see, find, and figure out these signals. And of course, the heart and soul of your toolkit is the spectrum analyzer. This thing gives you RF superpowers. It's your eyes on this invisible world. It takes those invisible waves and turns them into a picture, a signature, that lets you see exactly what you're up against. But hey, seeing the problem isn't enough, right? You've got to find it. And that is where your direction-finding antenna comes in. This is your compass. It's what lets you figure out the direction the interference is coming from. It's how you turn a massive, facility-wide problem into a much, much smaller search area. And let's not forget the modern powerhouse in your toolkit, software-defined radios. SDRs give you incredible flexibility. You can use them for wideband monitoring, just grabbing huge chunks of the spectrum at once. And you can run sophisticated software that helps you identify signals automatically. They really make you faster and more effective. Okay, but having the best tools in the world doesn't mean a thing if you don't have a solid process. And this next part, this is what truly separates the professionals from the amateurs. Let's recap that structured, repeatable process, this systematic hunt. And you've got to remember, the hunt doesn't start when you get to the site. It starts way before that. It starts with gathering intel, reviewing the system diagrams, planning out your logistics and your safety protocols, all of that homework you do beforehand. A successful investigation is always built on a foundation of great prep. So once you are on site, your hunt follows this beautiful, logical flow. You start big with a coarse location to narrow the search area from, say, the entire building down to one corner. Then use triangulation, taking bearings from a couple of different spots to see where they intersect. Then you move in for the close-in search, letting signal strength be your guide. And finally, it's precision location, using near-field probes to identify the exact leaky cable or faulty component. And what are you doing this entire time? You're documenting everything. Every setting on your analyzer, every screenshot, every photo, every note about what was happening at the time. Your documentation is your evidence. It's what turns your findings from just a hunch into a credible, permanent record that people can actually use to fix the problem. So you found the problem. Great, but that's only half the job. In this final section, we'll quickly go over how to actually solve the issue and then take a quick peek at what's on the horizon in this field. Your main ways to fix things are the classics for a reason. They just plain work. You've got shielding, which is all about containing the noise. You've got filtering, which strips out unwanted frequencies from your lines. And you have proper grounding, which prevents those pesky RF voltages from building up in the first place. If you master these three, you can solve the vast majority of RFI problems you'll ever face. But this field never stands still, does it? And look at this, drone-based RF surveys. This is a total game changer, giving you a bird's-eye view to map interference across huge areas, like a shipping yard or a refinery. This is where things are headed. And the future also holds things like networked sensors, which can give you 24/7 spectrum surveillance over a huge area. And maybe the most exciting development is artificial intelligence. AI and machine learning tools are coming that will automatically classify signals for you, maybe even point you towards the likely source. It's like having a super smart partner working alongside you. Which really brings us full circle, back to what it means to be an expert. It's not just about the knowledge in your head, it's about a professional ethos. It means you are systematic, not random. You are a thorough documentarian. You are always thinking about safety first. And you have a deep commitment to never stop learning, because this technology is never going to stop changing. So, you've done the work. You've been through the training, you've absorbed the knowledge, you have the skills, you have the process, and you have the mindset. You are now the expert in the field. You're the one who ensures our most vital systems stay connected. A huge congratulations on this incredible accomplishment. Well done.